Hi folks, John here from Western Sydney Aquarium Plants. Here's a 3-week update on our immersed grown Java moss. Started off, really started off with maybe strands that would fill about half this mesh, and perhaps even half this mesh. And in 3 weeks, this is how much growth we've had. We've kept it really simple. We're growing the moss over gravel. And you can either use tank water or you can use some moss-friendly root tabs. So you just put them in here. Just put one because moss are very fond of being burnt from harsh fertilizer. There's a specific kind of root tab that you need to use. The one that's specifically designed for mosses and epiphytes. So just chuck one in here, and then just along here we've got a bit of soil. Inside the soil we've put we have springtails. There we go, that's your springtail right there. Look at that, I found one. Okay, that guy right there, what he does is he cleans up the moss. So if there's any algae growth because of it's wet, so we get algae growth, or if there's mold or fungus, bodies or particles growing in there, it will sort of eat all that up and keep this setup nice and green. So I've also got rice in there as well. Now springtails, they love to eat rice, and what they do is they wait for the rice to go moldy, and then they eat either the mold or the rice. And that's just to help the springtails to breed and live underneath the gravel. And whenever there's mold or there's decaying moss, they'll come up and they'll eat any decaying pieces of the moss and keep it nice, green and lush. And so what you'll find is, at least that's what I'm hoping, they'll get the same results this year. Is that this whole setup, let's just say by December, will be filled with Java moss that's about 1 inch high, and it should cover the whole tub. The tub's about 35 centimeters long and about maybe 25 centimeters in the width, but could be less. I haven't really measured it. This is just me taking a punt, but here you go, guys. Immersed grown Java moss. And what I've got is moss friendly root tabs. I've got some rice to feed the springtail in the soil, and you've got to keep the system nice and wet. The springtail comes in, eats any of the dead rotting moss and fungus and mold and algae growing in there to keep the moss alive. All I'm doing is I'm misting this with dechlorinated water. That's another thing that you need to pay attention to, is if you just use tap water's got a lot of minerals and chemicals that can harm the moss. When it comes to mosses, the key is to make sure that you keep the environment pristine. I know we've got soil there, but that soil's there for the springtail. So there you go, guys. That's the update. It's growing pretty fast, and it's quite, as you can see, very green, very lush. And I take the view that in about 2 more weeks we'll fill up this this mesh, and then we can I guess rinse and repeat.